Hey guys, it's Koren. Thank you so much for joining me. In this video, I'm going to simplify the manifestation process as I know it. If you're new here, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel because you're not going to want to miss a single video. Also know that I offer one-on-one live coaching via Zoom. I have single coaching calls or a package, and I also offer email coaching. So links will be in the description, and don't forget to sign up for our Manifest Money course, which is totally free up until August 25th. So let's get into the video. How do we make manifesting simple? I'm going to show you. I've been analyzing this Neville Goddard quote for a few days now, maybe a week, and it is: consciousness calls things that are not seen as though they were. Consciousness calls things that are not seen as though they were. And it does this by first defining itself as that which it desires to be. You define yourself as that which you desire. Second, by remaining in that state, by remaining within the defined state until the invisible becomes visible. So what that means for me, the way I interpret this quote, is my consciousness, my inner being, my I amness. I can call something that is not yet visible to the visible by identifying, by claiming, by embodying, by declaring what is not seen, by declaring my desire and by identifying myself with it, by being that manifestation, by saying that I am, by becoming it. I call it into the visible world by claiming it, by identifying myself with it. That's the first step. The second step is that we must remain within our defined state until the invisible becomes visible. The first thing is that we identify ourselves with it. The second thing is that we stay there until it becomes visible. And that's where persistence and daily practice of these states come true. So how do we apply this Neville Goddard teaching in our life? And I would like to break this down as how I would apply this in my life. The first thing is I will set a goal or an intention of what it is that I desire. So you want to be super clear on your desire. Say your desire is to manifest money. Let's go along with our team, manifest money. If your desire is to manifest money, determine what amount of money you want to manifest, be it a job with a certain amount or a lump sum of money or anything specific. So let's just say that your desire is to make $10,000 per month. Applying Neville's teachings, we want to identify ourselves with that and our thoughts and our deeds and how we show up. So there are a lot of practices that we can do. I think to simplify things, the best practice that you can do is to use affirmations, because your affirmations are going to give you a brand new story. They're going to allow you to feel it real, and they're also going to help you with your visualization. So let's apply this technique of calling things that are not seen as though they were and defining ourselves of it and remaining there until it becomes visible. All right. This is manifesting made super simple and streamlined. So let's create the affirmation of that which you desire. Okay. $10,000 a month. I would start with one simple phrase, and then I would allow that phrase to have different derivatives, if you will. So my phrase would be: I love that I now make $10,000 per month. Okay. Simple. You can use this process with SP, specific person. I'll do a separate video on that, but we're going to focus on the money right now. So I'm going to identify myself with it. So I love that I now make $10,000 a month. I love that I now make $10,000 a month. I love that I now make $10,000 a month. I would have an inner conversation about this one affirmation. And the best way to do that is first thing in the morning when you wake up, you want to look in the mirror and you want to say this one affirmation to yourself. I love that I make $10,000 a month. I would also close my eyes and go within and feel it within my heart. And this is where I would get my derivatives from. This practice is very simple, and I'll do this briefly right here on the video. Start with a nice deep breath, clear your mind, detach yourself from this 3D world, and go within. Now, my purpose of this practice is to identify myself with my new money, which is making $10,000 a month, and remain there. I love that I'm making $10,000 a month. It feels so wonderful now that I'm making $10,000 a month. I love that I'm making $10,000 a month. It feels so great now that I make $10,000 a month and everything in my life is so easy. I love making $10,000 a month. I am now making $10,000 a month. I love that I am now making $10,000 a month every month. It feels so good that money is constantly pouring into my life out of thin air, that money is constantly coming to me out of the blue, and I love that I easily make $10,000 every single month. Two things happen with this single streamlined affirmation. Your brain is naturally going to add on more to it. You are going to get visuals. So if you're someone that may struggle with visualizing, don't focus on that. Focus on your affirmation and the feeling within, and allow yourself to vocalize in your head or out loud, whatever's most comfortable for you, your affirmation. I love that I'm now making $10,000 a month. It feels so great now that I'm making $10,000 a month. Everything in my life is so easy. Just by saying these words, I actually began to get a visualization of the calendars and how each month I'm making $10,000 a month. The visualization of my bank account, of me logging into my app came up. And you want to identify yourself with this $10,000 a month until it becomes visible. We must remain in the state. One thing that I found with working with individuals, coaching one-on-one, and also working with our subscribers is that we may have an idea and we go there and then we come back, we go there, we come back, we go there, we come back. And you play this back and forth game. But as Neville Goddard states to us, the second step is to remain there within the defined state until the invisible becomes visible. So to change your life, with anything, you must remain in that state. And maybe you're not there 100% of the time all day long. I know that the 3D world can be very powerful, but just know that your consciousness has the power to create, and it's always creating. And what's visible to us now, we once created in our mind. So if you want to change your life, if you want to live the life of your dream, have that person in your life, travel to these different places, do whatever it is that you want to do, make $10,000 a month, make $100,000 a month, you need to go to the end state and you need to remain there. Okay, the next piece that I would add to conclude this video is that once you identify with it and you are remaining there, you want to act from that state. When you walk around, when you are traveling about, if you are the person that's making $10,000 a month, you walk with a certain level of confidence. Your inner being is in a different state. It's not in a state of scarcity, of worry, even if the money is not in the bank account, because you so wholeheartedly have identified with this desire that you are it. You have become your manifestation through your feelings, through claiming it, through embodying it. You are that on the inside, and you feel like that person because you are that person, and that which you have created on the inner world will manifest on the outer world. To just add a couple more tips on how to stay in your desired state, and it goes back to your affirmations. Use your affirmations as inner conversations that you have with yourself. So if in the morning we are affirming and taking 5 minutes and going within, we're doing the same thing in the evening before we go to bed. You can do a visual act that implies that you are someone that makes 10,000. But if it's simpler for you to just stick with affirmations until you get consistency, stick with affirmations until you are consistent. Throughout the day, I highly recommend that you pause at least a minimum of one time, but maybe 2 or 3 other times. Set an alarm on your phone if you need to, and close your eyes and go within and say your affirmations and feel them with your inner being. Embody the feeling that would be yours were you that person. The main thing that we must do is we need to continually go back to that invisible state until it becomes visible, and it will become visible. That is the law. A practice that I like to do, I call feeling it real with the affirmations. I close my eyes. I do not need to be in a deep meditative state, but I will go within and I will say my affirmation in my mind quietly and repeatedly. You can have a conversation with some as you say your affirmation, like, yes, I'm now making 10,000 a month. This is such a wonderful thing. And then hear them, congratulations, I'm so happy for you now that you're making 10,000 a month. And so those are just a few ways on which I would take this Neville Goddard practice of calling things that are not seen as though they were. Identify that goal, make one affirmation, and it can be spun around a couple different ways. Morning, noon, and night. Constantly identify yourself with it. And lastly, when you see something in your world that you're not happy with, or that goes against and disagrees with your new story, with your new affirmation, just go right ahead and say, no, that's not true. I make $10,000 a month. Take care of what you need to take care of in the 3D so you're not falling behind. Don't excessively spend any money that you don't have, but affirm, affirm, affirm. Feel it in your heart and identify with the new version of you. So thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.